We have to and will do everything and anything within the law that allows us to abate problems in the city.
Warren's law director on what could happen if nuisance problems around 2 convenience stores are not solved. Next on First News at 11, a meeting of the parties involved.
Plus, the remnants of a Warren apartment where a fire Friday night forced the evacuation of the entire complex. What the fire chief says may have started it.
Watching for thunderstorms across our area tonight. I'm also tracking that Canadian wildfire smoke that was impacting air quality today. I'll have an update on both in my forecast.
Also, a third person announcing he's running as a Republican for the U.S. Senate. Ohio's Secretary of State says he's a candidate.
Investigative, in-depth, local coverage starts now. This is WKBN 27 First News at 11.
Hello, I'm Stan Boney.
I'm Lindsey Watson. There was a meeting this afternoon in Warren to develop a plan to correct nuisance problems at neighboring convenience stores.
Their Pit Stop and Big Apple Convenient Mart on Youngstown Road. And though no concrete plan came from the meeting, there could eventually be one. Nuisance problems. It's our top story tonight at 11. The meeting lasted an hour inside the law director's office in Warren. When it was over, representatives of Pit Stop and Big Apple Convenient Mart left quickly, declining to comment. But law director Enzo Cantalamessa was pleased.
What we achieved was a willingness on the part of the city, number one, and on the part of the business owners, number two, to work toward what can be a mutually agreeable resolution to these issues.
It was excellent. I thought everything went really well.
Pit Stop and Big Apple are in Councilman Jim Schaefer's 4th Ward, next to each other on Youngstown Road. Last week, Schaefer said his research showed that 365 nuisance calls had come in the past 3 years from the 2 stores combined. Today, Schaefer was more optimistic.
This is really want to do their best to try and accomplish what the city wanted them to do.
Among the solutions discussed today were improved lighting, along with more cameras and police presence. Also discussed were hours of operation, types of clientele, and products being sold.
The more of those boxes we check off, hopefully the activity that's causing the neighborhood and the city as a whole, the problems, stop.
Cantalamessa says the city of Warren wants to work with businesses.
The city does maintain a policy of wanting to work with all business owners and businesses in the city.
But he also wanted to stress to make it clear and unmistakable.
If these problems don't get addressed and get fixed and stop, we will be taking more aggressive action.
And that action, Cantalamessa would later say, could include shutting down both stores. Councilman Jim Schaefer previously introduced ordinances to have City Council object to the renewal of liquor licenses at Pit Stop and Big Apple. Schaefer still hopes Council passes the ordinances at its July 26th meeting. Should conduct at the stores improve, Schaefer says the objections would be withdrawn. Well, for most of the day today, the rain that we saw out there was well south of Youngstown.
But as the sun was setting, rain and thunderstorms were popping up north of us. So with our chance of getting some rain tonight, here's meteorologist Ryan Halicki.
Yeah, the showers and storms have really been struggling to move into our viewing area. They are sitting just off to our west currently, where I have some showers out around Canton, out around Summit County and Medina. You can see a couple of these downpours and not a whole lot of lightning with these. So these are pretty much at this point just garden variety showers. Now, there are some stronger clusters in the region. You look around Mount Vernon here and Knox County currently under a severe thunderstorm warning. Some lightning strikes with that cluster, seeing some pockets of hail with that as well. Now through tonight, at least the early part of the night, that threat remains for some thunderstorms popping up and perhaps one that could produce a little bit of gusty wind or a pocket of at least some small hail for us. There's a cold front pushing through, helping to fire these off, and that is going to be the focal point for showers and storms trying to develop into the night. Now we stop at 3 a.m. and you see some clusters showing up here, continuing deeper into the night though. Those start to dissipate as well. We'll start start losing some of the energy in the atmosphere for showers and storms the deeper we go into our night. But still could be a raindrop or a sprinkle left over to kick off that morning commute tomorrow. And then during the day, there's a small chance that we see another stray shower or an isolated storm pop up. So I'm looking for a low of about 62 as we watch for isolated showers and storms, at least early tonight. Also dealing with that haze from wildfire smoke. We're going to take a look at the latest modeling on when that smoke starts to dissipate. That's in my forecast coming up in a few minutes.
The state fire marshal is investigating a house fire in Boardman. Crews were called to Afton Avenue just before 7 o'clock tonight. Boardman's fire chief tells us a person who lives in the home is being detained by police. An arson dog was also on the scene. The homeowner is staying with family. There's no word yet on how much damage was done. No one was hurt.
The cause of a fire Friday night at the Elms Apartments in Warren remains undetermined. Yellow tape still marked off an area near where the fire began today, and it started Friday about 11 o'clock. When firefighters arrived, there was a visible fire on a second-floor balcony. Fire Chief Ken Nussel says firefighters rescued a man from his bed in the unit where they believe that the fire started. 3 people were hospitalized, mostly for smoke inhalation.
One person was killed in a 3-vehicle crash along Interstate 80 in Mercer County this afternoon. The accident was in the eastbound lanes, closing the interstate for several hours while reconstruction experts investigated the scene. Traffic was diverted off the highway in the meantime. The crash involved an SUV, a pickup, and a commercial tractor trailer. The roadway reopened around 7 o'clock tonight. The investigation into what caused the accident is ongoing.
There is now a third candidate in the race for the Republican nomination for the U.S. Senate seat in Ohio. Current Secretary of State Frank LaRose officially entered the Republican race today, joining State Senator Matt Dolan and businessman Bernie Moreno. The nominee will run against longtime incumbent Democrat Sherrod Brown. The race is in 2024. LaRose spent the day traveling the state and spoke with us as he was riding, saying his record speaks for itself.
This is a 1.5-year-long job interview. Every day, I'm talking to my prospective employers, including there in the Mahoning Valley, and asking them to consider me for an important job. I'm confident that when they consider the experience, the credentials, the battle-tested conservative is going to win, and that's me.
LaRose says despite a hectic schedule of campaigning, he will still oversee the special election in August and the general election in November.
The Powerball drawing tonight is for $900 million. And here's a look at the winning numbers. They are 5, 8, 9, 17, 41, and 21. Again, 5, 8, 9, 17, 41, and 21. The winner will get either $900 million paid out in yearly increments or a $465 million lump sum before taxes. So if you played tonight, good luck. A Youngstown area county has more of a percentage of people with Alzheimer's and dementia than most others in Ohio. Plus, a ribbon cutting for something new on the Village Green in Canfield.
And a movie bringing people to the theaters is also raising awareness about the serious topic of sex trafficking.
You report it. 27 investigates. Download the WKBN 27 mobile app and tap Report It. This segment of 27 First News is sponsored by Columbiana Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
Hi, John Kufleitner from Kufleitner Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Let the power of 2 work harder for you.
It's the summer of Jeep. Save on our new Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo lease. Now only $449 a month.
Locally owned, Kufleitner, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Boardman and in Columbiana. And please remember, tell a friend.
I've got home internet from T-Mobile. It only costs $50 at T-Mobile. Just one cord to set up. Say goodbye to that truck. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. They won't raise your rates at T-Mobile. You'll get a great deal every day.
Home internet from T-Mobile, just $50 a month. they got caught red-handed, admitting issue 1 is 100% about abortion.
And so, yes, it's about abortion.
Corrupt politicians and special interests have called a special election this August to rewrite Ohio's Constitution to end majority rule.
Yes, it's about abortion.
They're trying to rig the rules to lock in Ohio's extreme abortion ban and stop efforts to restore our rights.
It's about abortion.
To protect our rights and our freedom to decide, vote no on issue 1 in August.
America, come along with our adventure seekers and discover summer with Ford. Join friends Maisa and Leslie on an epic adventure with the capability of the Ford Bronco Sport.
Time for goat mode.
Head out with the Stevens family and stay connected with built-in Wi-Fi in the Ford Explorer.
Did you know that horses sleep standing up?
Road trip with the Sanchez family and available hands-free highway driving in the Ford F-150.
Now we're cruising.
Scan the QR code to see how Ford can help you discover your best summer ever.
11 months after the gazebo was torn down, the Canfield Rotary cut the ribbon on the newly finished one this evening. Between the COVID-19 pandemic and some paperwork issues, it took the city 4 years to get to this point. The gazebo that was torn down was built in 1962 but was no longer secure. This is now the third gazebo that sat on the green, and city leaders say it's bigger and better than ever. The Rotary is excited the project is finally finished and grateful to the community for its support.
Through the support of the community and the sponsors, with all the people in the community, with the businesses that donated to us, we were able to pull it off. The gazebo is the gem of the community.
After the ribbon cutting, the new gazebo hosted its first event, a concert on the green.